an emergency landing after a midair collision with a fighter jet. We brought you this as breaking news 24 hours ago. The other crash site, about 30 minutes away in Ocotillo Wells, that's where a fighter jet crashed. The F-35B was part of a training mission to refuel the jets, and apparently that's when the F-35B and the C-130 collided midair. As you can imagine, the moments that followed were chaotic. Air traffic controllers tried to sort out what was happening and where. Our Kitty Alvarado picks up the story from there. She's live in Thermal and has been following the story since it first broke yesterday. Kitty.
That's right, and if you take a look behind me, you can really see that that street on 59th, that is still closed, and 24 hours later, that plane is still sitting there, and it's kind of become a hotspot here. A lot of people stopping by, taking pictures, taking selfies, but as you said, we now have that audio, and that audio now is chilling. Still, the pilot remained calm, clear-headed as a worst-case scenario unfolded. Dramatic moments as a military pilot radios the control tower for help.
We have 2 engines out. We're leaking fuel and might be on fire, and an emergency descent at this time.
His KC-130 and F-35 made contact during an air-to-air refueling operation. He has to make an emergency landing.
Declaring an emergency. We still have partial control of the aircraft. 2 engines out. We're aiming towards
As the tower tries to get a location, there's no response. But by reports on the ground, they know where they could be.
We got a plume of black smoke on the ground in that MOA that, happened about the time he called for the emergency. So there's at least 1 aircraft down.
That plane made a hard landing in Thermal near a field. Meanwhile, in Salton City, Kim Consoli had been watching the refueling operations all day.
So one looked like it was receiving fuel and the other one was flying alongside.
As she stepped into her front porch,
And I heard a loud boom and I literally thought it was an earthquake.
but then she heard another boom and saw debris and smoke.
My first thought was, oh God, they crashed.
The pilot of the F-35 ejected and the fighter jet crashed in Ocotillo Wells. Fred Bell, the vice chair of the Palm Springs Air Museum, says this was a last resort.
That's it. I mean, you made the decision you're going to leave the airplane because the airplane is either on fire or some way is no longer flyable. And that is an extreme measure.
He says the ejection itself is dangerous.
Ejecting from a fighter, a supersonic fighter, a modern airplane is pretty violent. And any way you cut it.
Lieutenant Brett Vanier with the Marine Corps Air Station in Yuma says the pilot of the F-35 is being treated and the crew of the KC-130 are safe. Bell says this could have had a terrible outcome.
They're really lucky they got down. Airplanes can be replaced, people can't.
And Bell says this is one of the most dangerous maneuvers pilots can do in the air is that refueling operation. Still, he says these accidents are rare, and also that military spokesperson tells me that everyone is safe, and still they do not know when this plane will be moved here from this field. Reporting live from Thermal, Kitty Alvarado, back to you in the studio.
All right.